Hey everybody, hello, I'm just going to turn that up. How are we doing? Welcome to my Thursday live. I am so happy to be here today and hope you can join me if you are popping in live. Hey Sally, just pop a hey in the comments and say hello. And if you're catching up on replay, I know loads of you catch up on replay. Hey Simone, lovely to see you. Just pop a hey in the comments if you're here and then I can know that it's actually working. So today, well, let me start off with why I've come up with today's session. Oh, Chantal, bonjour. Bonjour. Hey Simone, lovely to see you. And everything's working, which is always a bonus, isn't it? It's always a bonus. So, as usual, hey Karen, great to see you. You know, my Thursday lives are, they're for you. I pick up on things that have kind of cropped up during the week. It's there for me to kind of help you as well. So, I know it's one of those annoying things when somebody keeps kind of stopping going, hey, how are you doing? So I will just get started. The whole point of my lives is that I, use them to ask me questions as well. So hopefully they are there for you to ask me anything and get the feedback here and there. So, hey, Deborah, lovely to see you. Okay, so first of all, what sort of brought this up today? Hey, Tina. Okay, so I'll stop all the hays now, shall I? Because I will be one of those annoying ones. So yesterday I went into London and I met up with my kind of fabulous tribe of women. We've become really, really close over the last 18 months that we've known each other. And, oh, hi, Sophie. I will say hi to you too. I think actually that group of women, we've become so close. We're all so supportive of each other. I think it's a real godsend in this kind of crazy online entrepreneurial world. And I've actually, hands up, that in the last week, I've not felt myself. And a few things have come up for me. And actually, what sort of made me kind of do this live today was something came to the surface for me, which hadn't come up for a while, actually. And it was while I was driving down, I was listening to the radio, and the one song that I really love at the moment is Elton John and Dua Lipa's song. I absolutely love that tune right now. Hey, Helen. I think you're going to like this one today, actually, Helen. I've just seen your email. I will reply to it. So there's a line in that song. That really rang true for me. So it's, I'm not the man they think I'm at home. Now, on my own, I can't remember what it's called, Tina, but it's the one where it's kind of a mixture of Elton John's songs. And in that, so the one line, I'm not the man they think I am at home. And my own adaptation of that was, I'm not who they think I am. And that really rang true for me, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel as if I've got this perfect exterior. I've got, everybody thinks everything is perfect. And yet inside, it can be paddling furiously. Oh, so you can get me emotional because it's been really tough this week, actually. I'm going to take a drink because that's not what this is about. Yeah, I know it's a really, really great song, isn't it, Deborah? So the whole thing that came up for me is, when you hear that, is, yeah, we all have this perfect exterior, especially in this online space. And, but inside stuff's going on. And it really reminded me of my days in the corporate job, in my corporate role. And something that I really, so yeah, no, I don't know, you don't know what's going on this week. I blame the hormones as well. But that song really brought stuff to the surface for me. About imposter syndrome. So I'm talking about imposter syndrome today, and I think the only difference now, is stuff still comes up, but the only difference now is that I'm aware of it when it comes up now, and I've got some massive tools and techniques, my NLP techniques to nip it in the bud straight away. So I think that's the only difference now, is to say this shit can still come up, but I've got the tools to actually deal with it now. So that's the only difference. But I just wanted to know if this is something that you resonated with. Thinking that you're in over your head, that somebody's actually going to find out about you, that actually the only reason you're succeeding is down to luck, not for actually, because of, the talent, the expertise, your qualifications, all of that sort of stuff. And actually, again, I was talking to someone the other day, one of my clients, and they've just got a promotion, but she doesn't believe, she's almost trying to justify the reasons why that she got that promotion, rather than kind of going, it was because I'm really good at what I'm doing. But she was then almost kind of actually saying, justifying that promotion because she didn't believe it. She didn't actually believe in that, and she was comparing herself to other people as well. And another thing that used to come up for me is that you do a presentation and everybody else says it's brilliant and you just pull it apart. So I had a load of people send me messages about the masterclass that I did the other day, on Monday. And, I've had so many things. And yet, you still find yourself then pulling it apart, pulling that bit apart of what you didn't do really well. So you ignore all the good stuff. I mean, why are we crazy like that? Yeah, Marie. So yes, and then when things are going well, you're waiting for it all to go wrong again. Yeah, absolutely. And we keep on doing this. Now, one of the things that I have found is that when you've got this kind of feeling like an imposter, it can really knock your self-esteem. And as a coach, I'm really seeing it more and more at the moment. That people are actually rethinking their decisions, and it's lowering the confidence. We then self-sabotage, and we play down the stuff that we've done. And that's the stuff that's happened for me this week. It's happened for me. I'm going to hold my hands up. Oh, Helen, thank you. Monday was a great session. I got some great feedback on it. Really great, and I am very much about giving so much value. But yeah, you then, this week, you're questioning things. And, the one thing I know is if we don't tackle it head on, it can really stop us moving forward. It can really limit our success. So I'm going to go through 3 tips today that really work for me when I'm in the throw of things and this crap comes up. Like I said, that's happened for me this week. I'm going to share with you 3 tips. They're really simple, but they're really, really powerful. So I really hope that if any of this resonates with you today, that what I'm then going to go through will really help you as well. And as long as you take the action, because one of the things that we can often do is kind of just accept this stuff, is kind of go, right, that's me, I'm a fraud, and label, often we don't even know it's imposter syndrome. So that's one thing, but you've really got to then just do something about it. So that's why I'm giving you the actual stuff that you can actually use today. So first of all, let me tell you a little bit about my background. For those of you who don't know me, and I know that, a lot of you do know me and that tune into these lives every week now, but I'm just going to put things into a bit of context. So I was a HR director. I was in HR for over 20 odd years. And, you know, in the last few years, for the last 5 years, I was HR director. And that was, you know, before I kind of set up on my own. Hey Lynn, nice to see you. So that was before I kind of do what I'm doing now. And when I was in the corporate world, I used to overwork. I was a people pleaser. I was constantly feeling that I shouldn't be where I was, that my peers around me were much better than me and they deserved to be there more. I set ridiculously high standards for myself. I still do, I'll be honest. You know, perfectionism is still the thing for me. You know, what the heck am I even doing there? And, you know, I really used to think, gosh, this is the day I'm going to be found out. This is the day that everything's going to come tumbling down. You know, if I was presenting to the board, I would just start putting myself under so much pressure, and I would prepare, you know, ridiculously preparing. But that wasn't preparing, you know, my reasons for preparing was because I didn't want to be found out. It wasn't because of that's the information I needed in the presentation. It was because I didn't want to be found out. And I can actually recall writing tons of notes, tons of information, and actually not even having a chance to go through that in the presentation, which then would make me feel worse because I'd think, oh, I've missed stuff out. They're gonna know that's the bit I've missed out. And afterwards, people would say that was fantastic, but I wouldn't focus on that. I would focus on, you know, the things that I hadn't done, that I'd maybe wasted their time. And the voices would play over and over again. And actually, when I got compliments, that would actually make me feel even worse because, you know, I still felt that it was kind of a negative. And often I would just be like, I just want to get this over and done with. And actually, I'm great. That's another one out of there that they've not found me out of. And actually, when I then started being an online coach, so bringing my coaching into online, I wouldn't be visible. I didn't want to be visible. I didn't want to get out there. And it's a big block. You know, you might have heard me talking about it on Monday, that visibility bit is a big money block. It's a block to your success because it's a way that you can make money. So that's one of the things that actually, if we don't want to get out there and be visible, that's another block. You know, that's where we're self-sabotaging again. You know, I used to think, I can't be the expert. And yet, all my evidence to the contrary was that I got that. You know, that the amount of, you know, testimonials that I've got would say how much I've transformed their lives through coaching and training. And yet I still didn't believe it, even though I had the evidence that was telling me that. And the fact that, you know, I was doing what I was doing. So, you know, the outside world didn't sort of correlate with what I was feeling inside. And I'll be honest, it was the NLP stuff that absolutely saved me. It really was. I'm not going to lie about that. You know, now I know I've got this stuff available to me that I can use whenever I fall down. That, you know, it's been a lifeline for me. Because actually we can really feel, you know, that anxiety, the fear, the self-doubt comes up. So let me know in the comments, you know, if you can kind of resonate with any of this. Does this show up in your life? I know, like Marie said there, you know, you're almost, if something's gone well, you're waiting for the next thing to kind of bring you back down. So let me know, for you, how does it show up? You know, for me, like I said, it was about being the perfectionism, having to get everything absolutely perfect, or having to know every little bit of information. It might be for you that you go and speak up in case you look stupid, or you feel that you're going to look stupid. It might be that you're really critical about yourself. And again, if you're anything like me, I feel like I've got to be superwoman superwoman that we then have to work, you know, we literally put so much pressure on ourselves to work harder than anybody else just to prove that, you know, we should be there. And actually, again, one of my things is that I feel that I've got to do this in every aspect of my life. You know, it literally is as a parent, as a partner, in work, in every area. I put this huge pressure on myself to be superwoman. Right, we've got a few things coming up. Yeah, Tina, are they really learning from this? Absolutely. Am I just speaking that, but they're sitting there thinking, she's not telling me anything new? Yep, that's exactly what. Will this really help someone? Yeah. So Helen, it shows up as perfectionism with you, yes. Definitely knowing, sometimes not speaking up, critical about yourself. Yep. Oh, it's not letting me see the rest of that. I'll have to catch up later. Yeah, you know, it's sometimes you're not, you know, not speaking up. Definitely is what it kind of comes up for me too. Lynn, love NLP, really helped you get over not feeling good enough. Yeah, it's because it deals with the stuff at the deeper level, not the surface level. So much so you trained in it. Yeah. Oh, amazing. And now you're training to become a master practitioner. Oh, Lynn, you should come to me. I'm running my master practitioner in a couple of weeks. I'm just launching it right now. So Deborah, you're kind of the opposite. So you're not the perfectionism. You show up warts and all, and it relates to your clients. Oh, it won't. Why doesn't it let you see that other bit? It's saying see more. It's not letting me see that. So how does it show up on you? You might have actually said that in the bottom of the comment. It's not letting me see that. So, you know, by the sounds of it, everybody in some way can relate to it. And the one thing I wanted to just say to you, the one thing that I've absolutely learned is this can affect even the most successful women. You know, it can absolutely, and in fact, one thing that I take comfort from is that, you know, people like Emma Watson, for instance, has really spoken out about the fact that she has imposter syndrome. So even somebody that you think, how ridiculous, you know, they won Oscars. How on earth do they kind of feel that? But she actually says, Emma Watson actually says, the more she accomplishes, the feeling of inadequacy increases, because often we kind of think, rather than it, you know, the more successful we are, feeling that, oh, the imposter syndrome is going to go down, you know, we almost then feel as if we're ramping up that confidence trick that we're playing on everybody else. So we actually feel, you know, it actually makes it go, the more successful we are, the more the imposter syndrome can increase, because it plays into, I'm still going to be found out at some point. And again, I don't know about you, is that we don't show vulnerability either. You know, again, for me, that is one of my classics. Don't show vulnerability. Don't ask for help. You know, daren't ask for help. You know, we can't admit that we are struggling with something. You know, it just doesn't happen. And actually, I see it so much that that's actually how women keep themselves really small. Really play, you know, to do that. So, okay, what we want to do is actually we want to channel this, you know, imposter syndrome in the right way. You know, having balance is absolutely key. So again, in NLP, we might say, you know, everything that we do and what others do has a positive intention. So everything we do is serving us at some point. It has a positive intention. So, you know, if allowing ourselves to not shine, for instance, or doing too much, what can be the positive intention of that? You know, I love the saying, you know, again, what we do in NLP is, how is this happening for me? Not, you know, what do I need to learn from it? Yeah, so Lynn, you don't show up and you don't ask for help. Yeah, we just don't, do we? We just don't do it. So, you know, look at it first of all and actually saying, how is this happening for me? What could we be doing this for? I'll give you an example. You know, the anxiety coming up could be a sign that we care, or you know, when it kind of, you know, when that whole thing about don't want to get overconfident to the point we then don't prepare. So actually, could it be showing up for you so that you do prepare? But we've got to watch that balance. We've got to be very perceptive there about when are we getting to the point where that's tipped over the edge. And actually, yes, we're preparing to be the best that we can be, but we're not preparing so much because we're afraid of being caught out. You know, because we want to be stretching. You know, we want to be growing. So we want to have a healthy fear and healthy bit of self-doubt, if you like, rather than, you know, so that we're still striving, we're still doing our best, but we're just doing it in the healthiest and most resourceful way. So these are my 3 tips for you today. One of the first things, we kind of just sort of touched on it, is to acknowledge the thoughts and then put them in perspective. So simply observing, you know, the thought rather than engaging in it. So it can be really helpful, as I just said there, is to really just sort of ask yourself the question, does this thought help me or does it hinder me? You know, how is this happening for me? You know, and make a list of all the things that you've achieved. You know, I love having a success journal. It's in my program that we have we always do wins every single week. And, you know, we have a journal which kind of says, write all your compliments down, all your successes, write them all down so that when you're having a down moment, you can relook at those and think, actually, let me put it in perspective here. You know, this is the reality of things. I'm getting all of this great feedback, you know, and then so you can actually balance that out. The next one is, and some people might find this a little bit bizarre. You might find it a bit strange to do, but I find that it works really, really well. And it's something you've got to do every single day. So it's not just when you're having a bad time that you say this to try and boost you. Do it every single day. And that is to look in the mirror and say to yourself, I look amazing, I feel amazing, I am amazing, I love you. So you're saying it to yourself, you know, and say it to yourself with conviction. You know, I love that kind of you know, again, it's one of those tips that I kind of use all the time, the mirror tip. So you're saying it to yourselves and say it every single day. Say it every single day. And then tip number 3 is to really be aware of your self-talk. Be aware of what you're telling yourself and then turn it around. Turn it around. So for instance, if you are, you're starting a new job, for instance, or you're starting a new project, instead of actually thinking to yourself, you know, oh, wait till they find out I've got no idea what I'm doing, then actually start, you know, reframe that by saying, look, you know, everybody that starts something new always feels nervous in the beginning. So reframe that. Yeah, it's based on, yeah, Helen, it's based on Louise Hay stuff. I approve of myself. So that mirror thing is, I've based it on that. I've kind of just changed it a little bit. But yeah, you can add whatever you want to that when you're doing that. Those are the things that I kind of use. And it's based on Louise Hay's one. So Marissa Peer also obviously says, yeah, I am enough. So that's a great one to also add to that. So I am enough, I am amazing. And really reinforce that, you know, and saying it with conviction to yourself. We've got to love ourselves. Can't expect anybody else to love us if we don't love ourselves. So it's something that, you know, for me really, really works. And I think the other thing, you know, I know there's my 3 tips that I wanted to give you, is also just actually having that courage to be imperfect. That, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, you know, be proud of everything that you've done. You know, everything we do, we can learn from. So there's no, again, another NLP phrase here, there's no failure, only feedback. Everything we do is learning, everything. So I want you to use this today as a way to, you know, be aware of this stuff and actually do something about it. So not just accepting, oh, I've got imposter syndrome now, and relating to that and kind of just justifying that you've got it. Actually, I want you to start changing that now, so that you can push past it. You can, you know, we are successful women. We can absolutely do this. Now, imposter syndrome itself is one of those deeper habits and behaviours. So it's stuff that is really core to us. It's really become embedded to us, within us. You know, it becomes like a fundamental belief, part of our fundamental belief system. So, you know, Lynn was just talking about the NLP. I am running my NLP accredited training over the next few weeks, starting with practitioner and master practitioner. And within those trainings, we literally peel off those deeper layers. You know, we peel, it's like an onion, we peel them off to what's going on, you know, underneath. And as I said earlier, for me, NLP transformed my life. And now I've got this box of NLP tricks that, you know, I can delve into when, you know, to help me whenever this stuff comes up for me. It's one of those everyday things. It's not just like a book you go, right, I've read it, I'm putting it back in the cupboard. This stuff you can use every single day. So like I said, I'm just prepping for my live dates now. We're starting the online training. So if you would like to jump in on this life transforming training right now and kind of, you know, go out 2021 on a real high, then please DM me for information now. It would be a quick turnaround. Because we are literally starting off now. But do DM me if the NLP accredited training is something that you are interested in. Please do let me know what your ahas were from today, what your biggest takeaways were, what, you know, if there's anything within there you then start using, and just let me know how you get on with it. I love to hear from you. Okay, so have a lovely rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. We're off to going to see the new James Bond film tomorrow, and we've got my daughter's first show at Alton Towers. So she's taken her, so she runs a dance school, and she's taken her first dance troupe to Alton Towers on Saturday. So we're all going up to Alton Towers to watch her little ones actually perform. So I'm so excited, so proud of her too. So have a wonderful weekend, guys, and I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.